everyone, I'm Ryan at marinepartssource, and we're back working on this old pontoon boat again today. And what we're going to be doing is taking out the old steering cable, replacing it with a new one. Before we get started, I want to show you something important. This is the old steering cable that we're going to be replacing. We've already disconnected it from the helm, as you can see. Now this old cable has a threaded fitting on it here where it connects to the helm. They don't actually make this style of cable anymore. You can't get it. So we're going to be replacing it with this style of cable here. And as you can see, it's different because it just has a quick connect fitting on it for connecting to the helm. So because of this, we're not only going to be replacing the cable, but in the future video, we're also going to show you where we're going to replace the steering helm as well. So that's what we recommend if you're replacing one of these old style cables. But if you don't want to go to the trouble of replacing the helm, you can get fitting adapters that will allow you to connect this new style cable to an old style helm that has the threaded fitting on it. So you have two options there. Now let's get started taking out the old cable.
So next we're going to disconnect the old cable from the engine. As you can see, this is where we're going to thread it through. So we're going to disconnect that link rod first, just unscrew the nut and pull the rod up out of that eye. And then on the other side, we'll unscrew that nut and then we can pull the cable out of that tilt tube. So once you have that nut loosened, you can pull the cable out of the tilt tube. It may take a little bit of work to turn the corner towards the front of the boat, but then once that's done, it's a pretty easy job to pull the cable out from underneath the boat. Now with the old cable removed, we're going to just clean out the tilt tube and then we're going to grease it. The best thing to use for greasing cables is actually white lithium grease. It's a little bit lighter than the standard marine grease and is what's recommended. So next we're going to thread the new cable underneath the boat back to the engine and connect it there first. Again, turning that corner, the back of the boat, can take a little bit of work. And once you've got it angled correctly, grease the end of the cable. And then you can push it through the tilt tube. So now you can pull it through securely and connect the link rod to the cable, clean the grease off, and then you can take the nut to secure that link rod. Also make sure that you are tightening the nut on the other side so that the cable is secure with the engine. Next we're going to install the steering helm, and the first thing that we're going to do is just cut the hole for the helm. Each steering helm is going to come with a bracket that we're going to attach to the front of the control panel, and then the helm is inserted from the back. And you'll have to drill the screw holes as well, and then those screws can be put in to attach the helm to the panel. Next, we're going to just put the bezel onto the shaft of the helm. It should be a pretty tight fit. Once it's in place and flush with the control panel, you'll simply screw it down. We're going to grease the shaft of the helm, and then we can place the steering wheel on. and there's a nut to fix the steering wheel to the shaft tightly. Once that's in place, you can just put the cap on top. Sometimes a set screw to keep that cap in place as well. Next, we're going to connect the cable to the helm. And what you'll do is just take the unsheathed cable and work it through the helm. As you're doing so, you're going to turn the steering wheel counterclockwise to get the cable to work through the helm all the way. And once it's all the way in, there's a nut that you'll screw down to connect it, or in this case, the quick connect fitting snaps into place, and then we have some screws to secure it. Then we're going to grease that end, that sheath, and work it onto the exposed end of the cable and slide it into place.
Okay, at this point we have installed the steering helm and the steering wheel up at the control panel. We've pulled the steering cable through and connected it to the motor. And as you can see, we have a functioning steering system. So tune in next time. We're going to be installing the control on this boat. We're also in the future going to be installing some gauges and doing a lot more to get this boat ready, bringing it from broken to floating. So just check back for more videos in the future. If you have any comments or questions about the work we're doing or things you'd like to see in the future, just leave them in the comments below. And please make sure and like and subscribe to this channel. We appreciate you watching. See you next time.